What's up, everybody? It's your boy Steve from the Watch Corner, and today we're gonna be doing the Casio history slash the 1976 Casio Tron. So this is gonna be super dope. My personal watch, Casio Tron, is the first digital watch to come out by Casio. So let's just go ahead, get this camera flipped around, and get this thing started. All right, folks, here we go. Before we start, I have the Memento Mori skull watch with the custom skull bracelet by my sis, Isabella Garcet in Belgium. And if you notice, because I post on Instagram, on a yellow Desari FKM yellow strap, it broke for the second time in the same spot. So it's all good. Haley from Strapsco will take care of it. Great customer service, but I'm asking for another yellow strap that's not the same one, because obviously these yellow ones must be defective. I have a red one on my modded Invicta from Shane Paradise, and it's fine. So obviously there's a problem with the yellow. But yeah, I'm loving this. And then I got my yellow Invicta bracelet on by one of the founders of Maryland Invicta Reserve Group, Anthony Gladden. I love that. So kind of yellow theme here today. So all right, I'm very proud of this watch, but I'm gonna just read off a little bit of the history, then we're gonna go over this watch. This isn't gonna be a real long video, but I thought it would be a super dope. Now everybody's been hounding me, including my neighbor Mike, that I need to start doing my collection, because where I shine is my expertise and vintage pieces. That's where it's at for me, you know, and I'm very knowledgeable of these things, and I love these things. I love reading up about history and collecting these pieces of horology history. So in 1946, Casio was founded in Japan by Tado Casio, K-A-S-H-I-O, and that's where they get the name Casio, the C-A-S-I-O, Americanized the name. He was joined by his brothers that were experts in the electronics. In 1949, compact electronic calculators were made. 1974, the Casio Tron was the very first digital watch, which is what this is, but this is the 1976, 2 years up from that. And then, in just real quick, in 1984, the G-Shock was released, and in the 1990s, the baby G-Shock was released. So the big deal about this watch is this is the first digital watch with a running seconds hand. Now, where the day of the week is, see, that's 1 to 5 seconds on Sunday, okay? Now it's 6 to 10 seconds on Sunday when it blinks, okay? Now it's 11 to 15 seconds on Monday, and then when it blinks, it's 16 to 20 seconds, okay? So it does it in intervals of 5, but when it's blinking, it's getting ready to turn to the next interval of the 10. So that's how this works. All right, so you can see it here, how it's working. Okay, so obviously 60 seconds goes to Friday, but the very important thing to notice is, I'll explain it, when it gets to Saturday, that's when you can change all the features of it, okay? And I will explain that. You can see there's one button here on the left that you have to use a pin to push in, and then you have another button there, okay? So when it gets to Saturday, that's when you can change all the functions, which is kind of a pain in the butt. And today is the October the 2nd, okay? And it's Saturday, see? The little dash is on Saturday, October the 2nd. So that's the big deal. It also, like I said, it's the first digital watch from Casio, which has a running seconds hand and a digital date. Now, obviously, all watches before this were manual wind or automatic and had that function, but they weren't in digital. And this one does have some battle scars on it. Now, I could probably get Tony to buff this out of this acrylic crystal. But you know something? I'm keeping the little battle scars on the crystal because this is a beautiful vintage piece of 1976. It came out a year after I was born in 75, so it's 47 years old. It's vintage. And like I said, you have the one button on it here. I don't know what year they changed it over to having multiple buttons on it, but 74 through 76 obviously was just the one button. So it is on the original Casio marked mesh bracelet now. This is in amazing condition. I bought this off of my good friend JR, my Seiko obsession, on Instagram. I am gonna link in the pinned comment his Instagram page. He is a seller of vintage pieces. Now, he's really huge, obviously, with his title, My Seiko Obsession with Seiko, but he comes across little gems like this as well. Okay, he buys some things from his local watchmaker. He has a local watchmaker where he's from in California, equivalent to my local watchmaker, Tony, okay? His guy has a little hole-in-the-wall shop. That's the best kind of watchmaker to have a relationship with, and I think he purchased this from him, if I'm not mistaken. So this is my pride and joy when it comes to Casios. I know Russell, the mad watch collector, would love to have one of these beauties because he's one of the biggest Casio collectors I know of that has a YouTube channel. Big fan he is. And I can't believe he hasn't featured this yet on his Casio Corner. Russell, if you're watching this, you need to do that, bro. I will post a picture of this on Instagram to advertise this because I'm dropping this today. Is October the 2nd. I'm dropping this video when I'm done. So the bracelet system, let's talk about. It's a pain in the butt. So, okay, it lifts up and you have to slide the bracelet underneath that little thin metal there. So I'm going to try to show you kind of off camera. So you have to, it's a pain when you have it on the wrist because you have to slide it in. It's easy off the wrist. See, you have to slide the mesh bracelet underneath that little ridge and then you close it down where you want it. But on the wrist, it's very hard to do with one hand to try to get that to go under there because the bracelet wants to go above, not underneath where it's meant to slide. So you just slide it to the adjustment you want. You lock down the clasp, the Casio marked clasp. That's all you have to do. Yes, this thing does wear very small. And you see that from the B-roll on my wrist. But I don't care, you know. I didn't bring my calibers outside, but it's very small. I might honestly have to go get my calibers real quick because I can't do this video with a clear conscience without giving you all some dimensions. So I'm going to go ahead and get the calibers real quick. Okay, and as promised, I got the calibers out. We'll go ahead and do some measurements here. So the case back to the crystal, we are looking at a 10.9. The lug tip is pretty easy on this model. It is a 39.7. And the lug width is an 18. Well, it's not. Hold on a minute here. Yeah, it's basically an 18. When you turn it, I've done it a couple times. It came up 18. So yeah, 17.8, basically an 18 millimeter lug width. And then case diameter from about the 4 to the 10, we're looking at a 36.7. So yeah, I couldn't in good conscience not do some measurements for this. So okay, basically like I was saying before, once the seconds hand get to Saturday, you press this little button in here with a pen or a pin, and then you can change the hours, and what it'll do is it'll cycle through. I'm not going to do it because it's a pain in the butt, but it'll cycle through all the hours. So once you get to the hour you want, it'll start at 1 and go all the way up to 12. Once you get to the hour you want, you just press the button here on the right. Then it'll cycle through the minute on the left first. So it'll go 1 through, it'll go 1 all the way up to 0. and you hit that in. And then for the, it'll do the same thing over here. It'll cycle through all the way to the second you need. Then you click that. Then after that, it'll allow you, you can change the date as well, and also the exact second. So you can dial it down into what seconds you want. You just have to let the little bars run under it until you sync up with that atomic to the exact one, and you can. So like I said, everything is syncable on here. And I mean, come on, from 1976, like I told you all, this was a year after I was born. I was 1 year old when this one, the 76 one, came out, even though, so they came out in 1974, a year before I was born. It's super dope. It's in great running condition. Like I said, I will pin the comment to JR My Seiko Obsessions IG, and this one's a Japan, see, stainless steel. Now it says made in Japan. Let me see if I can, it does on the dial down below, says made in Japan down there at the 6 o'clock. Now there's nothing about any water resistance on this. I wouldn't do any more than splashing it. I definitely would not get in the pool or nothing like that. So this is definitely a cool piece. If you can pick up one of these Casio Trons, I don't care what year you pick up in the 70s, pick one up. Okay, I got this for a ridiculous price. JR is the best prices for used pre-owned vintage, and most of his stuff comes serviced by his watchmaker as well. Like I said, he's just like my watchmaker, Tony. He's an awesome guy. So definitely check out his vintage watches. You know, plus not only does he sell the stuff, he collects it. So that's a really cool thing. And I love these lugs, are kind of neat how it has this in. It's super dope that this has the original bracelet on it. Now JR ultrasonic sound cleaned the bracelet and everything. It's really, really awesome. I love this. This will always stay in my collection. You know, like I said, it's small, but this is how everything was back then for men, and women was even tinier. Women's was the size of my pinky nail. You know, that's just the way it was back then. And you know, my wife, I'll have to show my wife, I'll have to do a Movado video and show off my wife's vintage Movado bracelet watch. Super, super dope. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to start featuring this regularly. I'm going to at least do one of these a month, featuring my collection. I have so much stuff in my collection, I can feature a video at least once a month, maybe twice a month. We'll see how this goes. But I definitely have to start featuring my stuff so I can get new subscribers and new people drawn into the channel. You know, I'm on the micro brand niche, but you still have to review some of your own pieces. And I want to do a state of the watch collection. Like I said, I have plans. It's just I've been so consumed with all these great micro brands coming in that I've been neglecting to do some of the videos on what I pride myself in, my knowledge and my vintage watch collection / antique collection. So I promise I will keep doing more of these videos. If you like this type of content, please give me the thumbs up. Hit that bell notification so you know when I'm uploading. Subscribe and comment. I appreciate every single one of you. The channel's doing amazing, and it's all because of you all, and I thank you so much. I'm so blessed and so thankful and so humble. And I just hope everybody has an amazing weekend. And please remember, time is short. Let someone you care about know how much you love them today, and have a fantastic rest of your weekend, folks.